fascinating idea. It's very deep. And we start to dig and we'll see a lot of things. The rabbis teach us that Shabbat me'olam ein olam haba. Shabbat is an extraction of the world to come. All this creation came from what's called the world to come. It's really olam haba, the world that was. The non-physical plane, the hyperlight spiritual universe, where everything is like a dream, but it's real. Because there aren't bodies, there isn't water to drink and food to eat, etc., etc. But it is a reality that you can exist in if you don't have a body. Or if you fall asleep and your body's kind of out of it for a little while, you can experience a spark of a dream, which is a spark of the world to come. The rabbis say that Shabbat is 1/60th of the world to come. So Shabbat is an extraction of that reality. And I'm thinking and I'm looking around and I remember that the rabbis also taught us that when a person goes to the hospital and visits the sick, Bikur Cholim, that person's visit provides 1/60th of a healing to the sick person. You know, you'd think 60 people would line up for a person and they'd be healed if it was so mathematically simple. But the rabbis say it, and I hold by it. 1/60th of the healing is provided by the person who visits the sick. He puts himself out, he goes to the hospital or the home, wherever it is. That visit gives something to the sick person. A piece of healing. 1/60th. And then the rabbis say in another place, a very interesting thing, that a mashal, a metaphor in Greek means beyond the physical. A metaphor is 1/60th of prophecy. Now, how is that? That you say, you know, the clouds were like cotton. Well, sorry, folks, it's just too easy, a cliche. But the comparison is the key. The comparison of those clouds in the sky being like fluffy cotton balls, the link between the two is 1/60th of prophecy. Oh, that's interesting. Why? Because what is prophecy? Prophecy is truth from that world to come. That same place that's an extraction of Shabbat. That same place that the healing light of God enters a person from another person. See, God's light is in all of us, and if you have the merit and the hard work and the purity to be able to express that spark of God that's in you to an elderly or a sick person, you give them that spark, you give them that life, that little bit of healing. And the metaphor is taking two things of the physical world and comparing them, but the comparison contains a spark of, in Hebrew it's dimui, imagination. And it's the purity of your imagination that creates the link. If your mind is all grubbed up with, you know, the things that this world offers, then, well, it's very hard to come to those clarities of perception that cause a metaphor. So, okay, we start to understand that there's something about this number 60. Number 60 is the letter Samech in the Aleph Bet, and 60, the letter Samech, is a circle. A kind of oblong circle, but it's considered a circle. It's a closed ring. And it means, the word itself for Samech means support. A support. L'smoch, I'm supporting you, or someone is supporting me. You know, when someone is limping on a cane and you want to support them, you take their arm. That's l'smoch, somebody. Smicha is when the rabbi puts his hands on your head, it makes you a rabbi. And las also smicha is when you put your hands on the korban in the Beit HaMikdash, and you're keilu, as if to say you are transferring our guilt onto this poor animal who's going to get a tremendous elevation of his animal soul by receiving the suffering that a human being would normally face if he was punished and not able to give Okay, so I was playing with the numbers a little bit. Listen, if you take Shabbat is 1/60th of the world to come, reverse the equation. That means the world to come is 60 times Shabbat. You take 60 sparks of Shabbat, you take the power, and it's a multiplication, it's an integer, it's not a simple math, but it's exponential. That Shabbat, that the world to come is 60 times your Shabbat. Let's say you have the most awesome Shabbat ever, with all the beautiful things of this world. Your family, the dancing, the laughing, the sharing. And multiply all that transfer of positive energy 60 times. It's the world to come, because we're not attached to the physical realm. And if you take the same idea and you say that healing, a visit to the sick is 1/60th of their healing, that means the healing is 60 times the visit. That the power that one person has to heal with love and compassion in his heart and faith in Hashem, that power, if you just ramp it up 60 times, you're going to have instant healing. Like the rabbis in the Talmud, we say that Rabbi Yochanan would just reach out his hand and touch somebody and they would be healed. Sounds miraculous. Well, it is miraculous, but it's not miraculous in a storybook fairy tale way. It's miraculous until we understand this metaphysics behind it. That we have this power of healing, we just haven't turned up the volume. And we have this power to experience the high realms of what we call the world to come, which we don't even know what's there. We can understand, we can use our imagination to turn the volume up 60 times, and you're going to hear something else. You're going to experience something else. And the truth, of course, is the same with the metaphor. That what is a metaphor doing for you? A metaphor is a way of encapsulating a truth. A truth. It could be a visual truth, like cotton in clouds. It could be a temperature truth, like, you feel like there's ice in your veins when you're cold. But all those little sparks of truth that are metaphorically derived from the comparison, if you turn them up 60 times, you get a spark of prophecy. In other words, truth is 60 times, the truth of God is 60 times more powerful, 60 times more revelatory than that metaphor that lets off a little spark in your mind. Said, oh yeah, oh, I've experienced that, that's true. See, so when we're comparing our own experiences, not our knowledge base, our database, we're talking about our experiential database. What you experienced is true. If it's true for you, it's going to be true for everybody at a certain level. If all other outside considerations are involved, are put aside. So 60 is a very special number, because it's really describing a relationship of a journey from the physical to the spiritual. From the idea of smicha, from somech, from the idea of being alone to the idea of always having somebody there for you. And Shabbat is always there for you. And the Torah, which is filled with mashalim, they say King Solomon himself wrote 3,000 different metaphors, is always there for you. And, if you believe in the other person has the power of healing, you give him your belief. They say that's why Baba Sali and Baba Elazar and all the great Moroccan tzaddikim had so many miracles and powers to heal, because there's people believed in them. Because you could be the greatest rabbi, and if your people don't believe in you, they're not going to get healed by your power, and you're not even going to know it. Let's say on an off day. On a clear day, you can't see forever. Right into the upper worlds, right into the world of Shabbat, right into the world of healing, and right into the world of prophecy. Because truth is truth, wherever it is, in heaven or earth, truth is truth. And my filter is so thick and my vessel is so small, I don't get that 60 times the metaphor bang of the prophecy. But when we do the work, and we align ourselves, and we come to inner peace, and we release the negativity and the resentments, and we release all the connections and attachments of this world, then you start to become a vessel to turn up the volume of the metaphor until it becomes like 60 times more powerful, like a little piece of prophecy. And that takes us to Shabbat into a different realm altogether. We realize Shabbat is not something we have to keep, it's an opportunity to receive. Shabbat is a feminine quality day. It's a feminine quality. It represents Malchut, which is feminine, the power of the king or the queen to receive. So it's a day of receiving, really. Receiving your hard work, receiving the pleasure and the joy that maybe you missed during the week. But if you go back in your memories and you scan your week, you might have a few good memories that really could give you new joy and new love, even though it's above time. See, that's part of Shabbat emotions. They live and they exist beyond the boundaries of our consciousness. And that gives them power. And we access that power through Shabbat, through visiting the ill, and also through learning the Torah and understanding deeply how far these metaphors that the rabbis give us, the sages know what they're talking about. And they were blessed with that power for our sake, so that we could learn from where they're coming from. So we put it all together. We should have a wonderful Shabbat. And we look forward to seeing you next week on all the platforms. We're continuing with our daily classes, Rabbi Nachman and Patreon. We're continuing with our Zohar on Motzi Shabbat, Saturday night Zohar. And we'll be on Web Yeshiva and Inside Timer and a few other places. So look for us there. Support us on Patreon. Join us. And you'll receive new things that I'm writing. And look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless. Shabbat Shalom. We've just completed our Shabbat, Erev Shabbat talk, and I see that the phone is still on, so it must mean that I have to say hi again. It must mean something besides the fact that I'm still learning how to use YouTube to broadcast live. But this class on the idea of the secret of 60, it's going to help change the way you see the interrelationship of this world and the spiritual world. Because 1/60th is the power of the world to come in Shabbat. And 1/60th is the power of healing when a person visits the sick. And 1/60th is the power of a metaphor to resemble a prophecy. And so look at the class all together, and we'll see you next week. God bless you all.